Hey, what's going on, guys? Infamous Noob back, and as I mentioned in my last video, during E3, I went to the Best Buy event so I could play the demo for Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, as I'm a big fan of the franchise, and for my first ever First Impressions video, I'm going to tell you what I thought of it. So let's do this! Oh, and please enjoy random footage from past Smash Bros. Games for fear of the almighty banhammer. I've already heard horror stories about people showing footage from games shown at E3, so I'm going to avoid all that. I want to start off with my most minor complaint, and that's about the reassignment of the face buttons. Now, at the demo we all used Wii U Pro controllers, and I'll assume the controls will be the same on the gamepad. The Y and the X buttons were the jump buttons, the B button was your special attack, and A was your normal attack, so they kept the same letters from previous games, namely Melee, and also Brawl if you used the GameCube controller. And that sounds all well and good on paper, but because the buttons are in different places, say on the GameCube for Melee fans such as myself, the special attack button is the one that's down and in, which is best equated to the Y button on the Wii U Pro controller, and so on. And it was really confusing for me. I kept accidentally jumping to my death when I meant to use a special attack. I'm sure it's really easy to get used to once you get into the new game, but for the 4 minutes I had, I ended up looking like an idiot for the first match. And unfortunately, because I used my first match to play as Mega Man, I wanted you to tell him how he controlled and how he played, but I did not get a very good impression. Also because somebody else was playing as Mega Man and I kept losing my place. But I did redeem myself by winning my second match as Mario. But that minor bump in the road aside, I know what you're wondering. How was the game itself? And I'm happy to report that the graphics are beautiful, at least in the first couple minutes that I played them, but I don't expect the game to suddenly become ugly upon launch. The presentation reminded me a lot of Brawl. The look of the menus, the announcer's voice, and just how snappy it was reminded me a lot of the presentation of Brawl, which certainly isn't bad, especially when it's in beautiful HD. But I know a lot of Smash Bros. Fans didn't really like Brawl as much for the gameplay, and I'm happy to report that the gameplay felt a lot more like Super Smash Bros. Melee. The pace was blazing, it was moving at such a fast speed, it was very chaotic. That and the hits felt a lot heavier. Match moves at a much faster pace, people accumulate damage much more, and it makes for a lot more fun of a game. As a big Melee fan, I was very happy to see that. And I left that Best Buy feeling happy that I had waited 3 hours in line to be one of the first ones to play the demo. I really wish I could give you guys some more information, but unfortunately you were only allowed to play 2 matches for a total of really 4 minutes of gameplay, so that's really all I can give you is just a first glance on the surface of what this game is going to be. I know somebody the other day brought up the point they're not going to release a demo that plays so much differently from the final game, and keeping that in mind, I'm very happy with what I saw, and I'm looking forward to getting the game on launch. But I do have one final point to make, and that's with the title. Come on guys, still you're working with Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, even after you've released the box art for it? Come on, you gotta come up with something better than that. I mean, before E3, I was thinking, okay, surely at E3 they're going to make some title, like Super Smash Bros. Fracas, or Super Smash Bros. War, or continuing with the tradition of naming it after a synonym for a sort of fight. I thought, okay, E3 they're finally going to release the title for it, but they still have Smash Bros. For Wii U. That's like calling Super Smash Bros. Melee Super Smash Bros. For GameCube, or calling Brawl Super Smash Bros. For Wii, or calling Super Mario 64... oh wait. So I hope they come up with a good title. Anyways, that's my first impressions on Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, and if you have first impressions on my first impressions, feel free to leave them in the comments. You can also favorite, like, subscribe, all that good stuff if you feel like it. Anyways, this is the infamous Noob, and this is the end of the video. Have a great day.